Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Stonehearth with me, Lathrix. And of course, welcome to the ever-vigilant Watchtower and the island nation of Lathingham for the very last time. Today will be the last episode of this season. Alpha 14 will soon be replaced by Alpha 15, which is currently in the unstable branch over on Steam. So in today's episode we have two major goals, and both of them are quite long-winded, so I imagine this is going to result in me playing this game for a lot longer, which honestly I'm not complaining about. The first thing is I want to finish off the bridge. I've already started putting down some basic foundations so I can see what I want, and what I think I'm going to do is have a very simple pattern, something which the Hearthlings will very likely not screw up in any major way, and I can build and make look pretty very easily. And that's just going to be pillars all the way across of the same height. Originally I was thinking of having ones which were very high at the start and then going into a dip and then rising again, but then I thought of all the problems that could cause, and I think simplicity is the best part of victory here. So we're going to just stick with things like this, probably a little bit thicker and probably out of either stone or clay. I'm actually tempted to use clay here because it would look very clean, very neat, but at the same time I do have a penchant for making things out of stone, as it does look very pretty, so I'm not too sure just yet. And then in the gaps we'll have some kind of fence work. One of the big pros to this is that we can finally put down a door here, and it is technically sandwiched between the two things, since I simply can't remove a section of this wall without deleting all of the wall, something which I've learned for next time. The second goal is flooding the mine shaft. The mine shaft will be completely flooded, and hopefully we lower the water level by just one mine section. So just one level, that's all I'm asking, not a single block, but around about 4 blocks. I think it's possible, although this is a very large body of water. I wish it was a little bit smaller, because we're going to have to mine out a lot of space. Right now, this is nowhere near the amount we need. But on the upside, this is something we can just do off camera. I can just leave this running in the background. We have enough soldiers already. I'm going to be making another one in a second. They're all patrolling pretty well. I doubt we'll have any major troubles. And some of you may have noticed that there isn't any music playing. That's because these lovely fellows have caused my music to constantly loop the combat music, which is really confusing. So I'll be right back once something happens. A goblin, believe it or not. I think it's only fair, in honor of our previous series, we go ahead and put at least one house backwards. This will be the backwards house of the season. I think every season needs a backwards house, otherwise how are you to know which houses are forwards? Or something like that. Okay, let's just put this here. Not quite sure if putting it any closer to the scaffolding would be a big problem. Where else could we put it? Where else could we put the backwards house if not there? There really isn't much space. Now, I was going to put a house somewhere around here, and actually I still might, but that will block out the cemetery a little bit, which I'm not too happy with. And though saying that, if we put it this far back, it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, yeah, we'll put one house there. Finish editing and build. I'm just doing this while I'm allowing the halflings to dig out the huge mine shaft at the moment. And the second house will be the backwards house, and it's going to go over here facing this way, so there's a little bit more space. There. Will that be okay? I think that'll just about be okay. Finish editing and build. It is backwards, isn't it? Yes, I didn't fail in making the fail house fail. Good. Also, I can hear fighting. Am I going insane? Oh. They all died. Maybe something spawned there. I don't actually know what was just happening then. But it does mean we can probably put on music again, since now they're vanished. Yep, no combat music starting straight away. The other music, of course, takes some time to actually get started. Okay, halflings, Back to your work on ×4, or ×3 I think it is. Well, I've just learnt a lesson which I really wish I learned a while ago. It turns out that halflings, if you are on the ×3 speed, the super speed, will act very, very weirdly. Now, of course, I already knew that some things acted oddly when you're in fast forward, but this is kind of very special. They will actively starve themselves to death until their work is complete. Although that is dedication, that is severely hampering my efforts at mining out this section down here. We had 3 people all starve to death whilst I was making myself some tea, because I was just letting this run its course, because again, we have all the guards, we are pretty safe, it's just a matter of the halflings doing stuff. So that's pretty darn bad. So from now on, we will not be doing ×3, and I am going to very quickly cancel this out. Let's just do this. Suspend mining just for now, just so he goes up and actually gets some food. There we are, good. Wow. At least I think it was 3 people. It might have actually been more than 3 people, to be perfectly honest. Bugs galore. Let's have a quick look, see. Where's the last daily update? Or did I accept it? I may have just accepted it. I'll have a proper look in a second. Nothing is going away. I now need to redo the UI. Everything is going bad. Okay, there we go. The UI is now fixed. And so, let's see how many gravestones we actually have. None. Wait. They go underneath... Now, last time I looked for them, I couldn't find them. I've had people die, so where are the gravestones? Unless they weren't picked up by themselves. I know there's one in here. There it is, okay. So we need to actually pick them up, and once we've picked them up, then it counts as being in our inventory, okay. We had one die here. Actually, what I could do is just grab that and just tell them to put it down. That would be easier. Well, at least our cemetery will look a little bit more fleshed out. The halflings have sacrificed themselves for this. It's not the nicest of things. How did they die? They worked themselves to death. Now, to start off with, when I came back, I was really nervous because I honestly thought that perhaps it was just a matter of I didn't have enough food, but I definitely have food in my inventory. And now I check. No, I definitely have food in my inventory, yeah. So that's no problem whatsoever. So the fact they're dying is just, if you are on the super speed... Ah, there's the other one. If you are on the super speed, you do have a chance of simply causing your halflings to work themselves to an early grave, in the most literal sense possible. Did I pick that? Wow, more have died than I thought. All in this section as well. Well, one down there as well. Okay, well I'm going to go and find all the gravestones and put them here so we can tally how many have actually perished. Then I'll be right back. We're not putting it on super speed anymore, apparently. Apparently, I may have accidentally ordered the mining of this section. Whoops. Could someone come and save him, please? I have ordered some ladders. Don't worry, he'll be fine. This one will not starve, even though he's the one stuck in the hole, and the others were just working. The first stage of the bridge renovations is now finally underway. So what I've decided to do is add the stone pillars to the outside, each of the pillars acting as a separate building. That way it should be quite easy to actually build everything up. We are going with the darkened stone look, that way it should contrast with the bridge itself pretty nicely. And once they're all connected with wood or perhaps clay or something, it should have a variety of colours that looks decent. Or nice, if possible. And I'm very tempted, although it would cause a lot of lag, to add lights to the side once it's complete, so the entire bridge is completely illuminescent as soon as night falls. Now, a couple of the columns aren't quite as tall as the others, and that's just because the flooring itself isn't even. So what I'm going to do, as separate buildings, is add a couple of extra blocks once it's all completed. I've just ordered them all to begin work, so any second now, we should have some work starting. In fact, it looks like a couple are already heading that way. So, I'll be back in a second, hopefully with some progress on the bridge. There is nothing more beautiful in this game than seeing buildings be built without glitch, without problem, and without halflings getting stuck into everything. So far, it's been about 5 minutes, and honestly, not all that much progress has happened, but it's all happening correctly. There's no major issues, no one's died again, everything's going okay. And in fact, our population has even increased a little bit since I have turned off the limiters. I think if we're going to have this as the last episode, we may as well have the maximum halflings. We're going to have all 40, especially now we have more beds and more houses and stuff. The inside of the town hall, as quite a few people were asking about that, won't really be used for much now. It's just going to be used for beds and storage, just because I've had a few issues using the inside of it. I'm not quite sure why, but something to do with how this thing was built is causing the entire building to be a little bit volatile in terms of if things will or won't work. So, sad to see in its current state, but I guess it's more of a monument than anything. It's a monument to our power in Laffingham. I think I may have actually jinxed myself in the previous clip. At the moment, I can't get the workers to do anything, and I can't figure out what's gone wrong. They're clearly trying to do something and waiting for a prompt, but at the moment, they will do nothing. I've tried to mine sections, I've tried to build other things, I've tried everything, and I've even cancelled and restarted all the different buildings. And they just won't do anything. We have every type of resource possible currently in the storage. We have storage space, in case that was one of the issues. We have food, they have beds, they have everything you could possibly imagine. They won't do anything. Even mining, I just set up a new mine set there and they won't do that either. So, right now, I'm unsure how to continue. I've also tried to save and reload without loading a save, which was a very long time ago. The only thing they do is idle, eat, and sleep. A pretty good life, honestly, for the halflings, but a bit annoying for me. Thankfully, Alpha 15 seems to be focusing a lot on the aspects which we've actually had issue with during this gameplay. A lot of the AI just for the workers, a lot of the performance issues, and stuff like that. So I'm really, really hoping that gets everything fixed for the next time we play, because I'm starting to give up hope now. I've been trying to do this for over half an hour and I cannot for the life of me figure out what's wrong. I haven't changed anything. I simply allowed the game to play out for another 5 minutes and they're now building again. I won't question it. I'm just hoping they actually continue to build this time. It's with a very heavy heart I am now admitting defeat. After looking up several forums, looking at posts relating to this sort of issue, and ultimately trying every last thing I could possibly think of, it seems like our game is pretty much going to stop here. There isn't anything else I can really do to get our citizens to work effectively, even in the slightest. Starting new mine shafts, removing the items that are in the mine, all stuff like that didn't help. I've made sure I have stone in the inventory. We have over 500, which are located in both chests and a stockpile. I've made sure that everyone was well fed. I made sure I had food. I made sure I had oak logs once again in the stockpile and storage, which I did. Everything is there for them to work, and they just will not. It could be an issue of just having too many halflings. It could be an issue of doing too much in terms of mining in the past. There is a lot of things which could have caused this, but regardless, it's just not possible to revert. I even went back to a save file from several days ago, and the same issue occurred very quickly. It's the same kind of bug that's causing this to just not being picked up. I don't really want to call it a bug. I want to call it just issues at this stage, as I wouldn't really call it an exact glitch. So the items are back anyway, because like I say, I reverted it all after I made all the changes. And what I'm going to do now is start to flood the mine shaft. We're still doing that, because that's going to be a lot of fun. And since I'm a little bit salty about the current state of our civilians, what I'm going to do is ensure that they get stuck in the hole they're making. It's going to be a bit homicidal, I admit, but still it's going to be pretty fun as well. So let's start mining here, and we'll mine a 8x8 area. Let's see if they ever get there. Oh, are they going to mine it? I did get them to actually start mining, so that is something I did fix by reverting the save. But still doing anything too far away, it just doesn't work. If this doesn't work, what we could do is actually mine out a corner of the island itself. That way, that would be really easy to flood. Actually, what we could do is make like a small stream. If we bring the water through, we could bring it very easily through into the mine shaft here, and that way we could actually watch it happen. Actually, that seems like a much cooler idea. So where do I want to mine from then? I'm thinking, if we mine here, that'll just flood this, and that's not our intention. So what I'm going to do is start mining here. We'd have to remove the roads, which actually wouldn't be a bad idea. So, okay, so, wow, the roads could be water. That's actually a really cool concept. No, that'll be a bit difficult, and because of the roads, you'd have to mine, like, through, which doesn't really work out very well. I'll ponder this, and I'll see if they'll actually get working on that mine shaft. I have found the solution. Our clay mine here is actually dangerously close to the ocean anyway, and it does directly connect to the main mine shaft. So if I order them to do this, which they should do because it's quite close by, let's watch and see if any of them actually go there. What should happen now is I should mine out that corner, which will lead to the ocean itself. Well, the lake, I should say. It's not an ocean, it's a lake. Which will flood that, which will then in turn flood in here, which will then in turn flood the main mine. So let's just remove this, and let's see if I'll do that. As you can see, a bit reluctant to do anything, even in the slower speeds. Well, the non-super speed. I would also like to quickly mention as well, before I forget, because people will be recommending this, and I can't blame you exactly for recommending it, I still don't want to use console commands. I've reached the edge of my sanity in terms of attempting all this stuff, but I still don't want to try out console commands to automatically build all of this, which is very much available, although I don't quite know the codes myself, because I'm trying to stay ignorant to that. You can look it up on Google, it's very easy to find the codes. I think you can instantly build things, and you can instantly harvest things as well, I think. I'm not 100% certain on that, like I say, I haven't really read up on it much, but I just don't want to do that, because to me, that isn't really part of the game. That would just be a sandbox building game, like, when you just place things which are instantly built, and I can't really see the point of that. You see, you'd think it would be inventory space, but I've made sure, like, these chests here, for instance, aren't full. Well, they're not exactly empty. Let's have a quick look-see. Wrong one, this one is what I meant. If we look here, as you can see, lots of them have quite a bit of space, and I've even made some more stockpile space just now in this section down here. So there is definitely space, it's just, I think it's just too complex. I think the build now has become so complex, they can't really sort things out. He got stuck on the scaffolding, didn't? Yep, he was stuck on scaffolding. I don't know what to say now. I love the game, I really do. Please don't take this as me bashing the game at all. I really, really want to see this continued. Honestly, it's a game which I'm looking forward to seeing the updates for more than most other games. It's just, in its current state, it's very clearly an alpha. And even though I make mistakes constantly, the punishment for such mistakes can be game-breaking. Any moment now. Good timing for combat music. Ignore that one, just do this one. I know you're hungry, but work! Yes! That's it, open it all up. Come on, 2 more sections left. There we go. Is it doing what I want it to do? Yes, it is! Oh, that is glorious. Look how fast that fills up, wow. Going down. Oh, there's the mine shaft filling. Oh, look at that. Let's just go into X-ray mode instead so I can see all of it. Oh, that is glorious. The funny thing is, we could still use this mine shaft. The water does not stop halflings from mining. Well, I think we'll be able to completely flood the mine section. Obviously, I'm not sure how much we'll actually remove from the lake. Probably not much, because how big the lake is. But I'm hoping to see the water hit this block. It may take a while. Okay, well, the lag's here. The funny thing is, I'm actually still on 60 FPS. This is just actually in the game itself. Any effect on the water? I should have marked where it was to start off with. So it's there. It's like 1/4, 1/5 of the way on the first dirt block. Okay. Wow, the game just froze up. Look at that. Gee, I wonder where the water's coming from. So that's how that looks, apparently. Kind of looks like it's shooting through the side, but it's going in there. That's the important thing. Not very quickly, but I suppose it's only one gap. I mean, I could order a second one. There's no damage in that, I'd imagine. There we are. Okay, order a second gap there. That's quite a small place. I don't quite know why I chose there for, honestly, in the end. It was quite... That's like one of the longest sections possible, but I think this looks very cool. It's like a proper channel that way. Hopefully someone will eventually come over here. Oh, look, you can see where the tombstones are more. I even gave up on trying to pick those up as well, to try and save myself a little bit. Back down to here. The age-old question. Do clay lamps work underwater? I very much doubt it, but it'd be cool to see if they would do in this game. Let's see. If I do this, there we go, it's all square. Oh yeah, it's definitely gone down. Not by much, but it has. Okay, if we can get one block down, I'll consider this a huge success. I'll just be right back once the flooding has got closer to finishing, because the game really doesn't like me being in super speed right now. Almost there now, and the lamps are still working. They aren't fully submerged, there's still about 3/4 of a block left before the mine is completely flooded. But until then, the lamps will keep burning. Will they go out once the water has reached the top of that block? It is complete. The mine is entirely flooded, and the mine shaft itself, going down into the earth, flooded all the way to the top. I wasn't quite expecting the game to handle it in that way, so that's pretty interesting. You could actually make wells by doing this. If this is how it works, you could easily make a small hole there, dig down, then dig to the side, and then have the water pop up over here as a well. So that's a really cool idea for the future. Now we know the water physics work in this way. We have managed to drain the lake about one whole block, since it wasn't quite all the way up to the grass before, which is pretty impressive considering we were less than halfway done with the mine by the time we started the flooding efforts. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Actually, before we go, I will say I did try out other things to try and fix the game. I started putting a lot of storage on the outside. I went back to a previous save again and destroyed all of the blocks using the command, and then put down storage to see if that would work. That didn't help. So my only theory now is that the current game engine can't handle so much complexity and so many paths being created, and so a lot of the halflings simply stand there doing nothing, which then causes the whole game to basically grind to a near halt, which I'm not willing to kind of push through because it was just taking so much time and I was starting to resent it, and that's not something I want from this game, as clearly this is a game I absolutely adore. So thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly shows that Stonehearth Alpha 15 is a series you wish to see beginning very, very soon once it's released to the stable branch. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. And goodbye from Laughingham.